Sorry, sir. Can I ask her a question?
Okay, please go
Okay,
ahead.
lady. So please, you said you wrote them a letter and you took the
Yes.
letter to their office. So that letter that you wrote, was it a lawyer that wrote the letter on your behalf, or you wrote it personally
No,
yourself?
no. I not wrote any letter to the office. I went to the office. That was early October to
Okay,
complain. I went to the
okay,
office,
you just
but the
went
letter
there.
that I wrote it on my email. I sent an email to them.
Okay, the email you sent, was it you that wrote the email or a lawyer that wrote the email?
No, me.
That's your mistake. Next time, you don't write personal things by yourself. It doesn't
Okay.
carry much weight. You should have told the lawyer to address it and send it through their email. And the lawyer now will
Okay.
use his letterheading. So on seeing that, they
Okay.
now know that they are no more dealing with you, that this person has
Okay.
gone through the right route by involving a
Oh,
lawyer. So at that moment, they
okay.
won't even disturb you anymore. Everything the
Oh,
lawyer will say that he or she will communicate with them. At that moment, they have no communication with you again. So next time,
okay.
you don't, like, even if you said you went to their office, you don't even have to go to their office. Even if you have taken a letter by a lawyer and just drop it at their office, they'll reply. They'll reply to the letter. You don't have to go there and start complaining. Nobody's going to listen to you.
I
So
don't
next
even know
time,
anything because until I
no,
joined
on next
this
time, to be on a safe side, let your lawyer
okay.
handle all that, or somebody that is more advanced in that. Maybe not a lawyer, but somebody that is more advanced and more enlightened in that area will
Yeah,
go
yes.
on your behalf and write a letter and submit it. Some people can do it
Okay.
if you don't have money to get a lawyer, just to be on the safe side. So even phone calls, you can give their number. If you go to their, like, Fair Money, I'm sure they have their phone numbers on their app.
Mm-hmm.
If you get their phone number, even if you give it to somebody that is more enlightened, that will speak to them, the way they are going to speak to them is going to be different from the way you are going to communicate with them. And when you communicate with people like this, you don't beg, because it's not a begging issue. When they brought the loan to you, you saw it, and most of the time they'll keep on pushing it to you. Like, you'll be seeing it, will be an advert, it will be on your face all the time. And where there's a contract, you see, the mistake you people don't understand, that anytime there's a contract, there's always room for communication and resolution, no matter the contract. There's always
Yeah.
exception in every rule, in any contract. And that's the thing that they used to deceive you and say, didn't you sign the contract? No matter how the contract is, let it be rigid. There's always room for communication. That is why it's called contract. We can always come back to the table and say, okay, I know I said this, but this is how I now want to do it. They will always provide room for resolution, room for communication. So you have to make them understand that too. I just said I should drop that too, sir.
And all those mails. Oh,
Don't let them use don't let them use courts to threaten you. If the matter gets to court, you see what courts do most of the time, because the money is not above 10 million, it's still below
No.
10 million. So the matter is going to go to a magistrate court. And immediately the matter gets to the magistrate court, it's going to always be in your favor, because now the magistrate will now draft the format, and then you're going to pay as you are comfortable paying. It's not going to be pressured. So if you tell the magistrate that, okay, I'll pay so amount, she's going to allow you to pay. And then if you even miss the deadline, maybe, for example, if she gives you 6 months to pay, and after 6 months you are not able to complete that payment, you can strike the matter out. And then the Fair Money will now go and release, as in reinstate the matter again in another court, and they'll be losing money. So they don't even want to go to court. There is no debtor they don't like going to court. So don't let them use court to start threatening you and say, tell them, let go to court. Let them get to court. You see many people, you see them, they'll just stand and they'll start crying in front of the magistrate. At the end of the day, the magistrate will just be like, there's no It's not a criminal matter, it's a civil matter. It's a civil matter. So they can't say they use police. Police cannot arrest you. It's not a criminal matter. So if you go to the federal high court, you see people owing banks billions. Billions. As long as they tell the court, I'm going to pay, just give me time, nothing is going to be done, and they'll give him time. So don't let them use courts to threaten you. They cannot take the matter to court. The police cannot arrest you. It's not a criminal matter. You can, even if the police come, you let the police know, I know my rights. It is not a criminal matter. So the police cannot arrest you. So I just said I should drop that
thank you very much,
for you.
man. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
You're
ma.
this.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So I've been trying to reach out, but I will save your number now. I mean your. Of course, I've started following you, so that we can talk about it extensively. Thank you very much, man. So, Madam Adorable, you don't say you talk say you don't leave. When are we expecting
Ah,
your
I don't know me. One of his sleep. If you see me, That was around October last year, December. I cannot even eat December food. And the funniest part, I collect 500,000 naira from one of my friends. I used to pay these people, and they still call me the same day.
You know that you can never finish paying loan now. The more you pay, the more
I
your
said
problem.
this, they call me the same day. The same day.
Madam Adorable,
I paid the
I
money.
advise you. Yeah. You see all those your shops where you put for DG, where you put for Facebook, just go come out them. Don't
Okay.
sell them again.
Okay.
Find money or just find if you still get money, put all those things where you they sell back into your shop. They sell. Don't see leave loan apps and all this fair money. These guys, they thank God say the Lord don't talk them. Just leave these guys. They can't really do you much. They will never take you to court, just like the law has said. They would not. They will lose. They know what they're doing. Right? Why do you think that they rather defame you? Why do you think they rather put exorbitant interest? Why do you think they rather try to sway you to do some certain things rather than going to court? Anybody will really, really, really they do the right thing. You know, even follow you drag. You go not see yourself for law court. We're not go begin the drag for there. But they will not do all this. They rather go through the route of defamation, rudeness, blah 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 blah. So just go
I
and
said I even told
rest.
one
Go
of the
and
agent that
relax.
okay, I put my property. I said you better be fast and sell it now because that's not my concern. I was like,
if,
are you a
if
woman
you
being
like,
at
buy
all?
yourself. If you like,
I
buy
was like,
yourself.
Let me
fine.
tell you.
Don't send you.
He said I lied again.
Did they still call you? Did they still call?
No, so the lady called me. I thought I think it's almost 3 days ago that okay, please just be out of the money, be paying small, small, gradually you'll be. I said I don't have money, please. I don't have money for
No,
now.
what you can do,
Just don't
maybe
call
like
me.
after like every 4 days or every 5 days, you can call them yourself. Call their customer care. Let them know that you still have the mindset of paying. They should just give you time. So that will always be on
Okay.
your own record. It will be on their own record, just in case.
Now,
Okay.
if you
Just be
want help,
bold.
we will not
Just call them.
don't do that.
There's
There's
no
no need
need
for
for
that.
those things.
The
There's
If
reason
the
no
is
money
need.
is a lot, is good. Just call them once in a while. Don't just totally
Wait,
ignore them. I'm
which
talking
money is
from a
a lot?
lawyer's point now. I'm talking
You're a
from a
lawyer?
lawyer's point, just in case. Just call them once
It's
in a
them that
while.
have
Don't
they
ignore.
have the interest too. It's not me that I'm not owing them big
Okay,
money.
so
So it's fair money
if
that
they
is adding.
ignore,
If
what
okay,
will
if I
happen?
want
I
to
just
I
want to
borrow like
I
five
don't
hundred
Madam
thousand, you
Adolphus,
are adding
wait,
1 million naira.
let's
Is
address
that my
that.
fault?
Wait,
calm
Adolphus,
down.
let's address
Sir?
that.
Ade Carita, please, sorry
Yeah, yeah,
for
that's me.
butchering the name.
Yes.
All right, so if she doesn't pay, what will actually happen? I just want to understand.
If she doesn't pay, she's owing a lot. Nobody wants to lose money. We should look at it from their own aspects too. Because you can't go and borrow money. At least what the
I'm
magistrate
not
court will
owing
tell
them a
you that
lot, oh, auntie.
no, they will pay. What is going to happen at the end of the day? You will pay the initial amount that you borrowed. The court can tell you to do that
Which
because
of the
anytime you
courts,
pay,
please?
the
Which
magistrate
of the
court,
court?
that's the magistrate court. They have hierarchy of courts. The matter will not go to a high court because high court does not deal with matters like that. The money is below 10 million, so the matter is going to go to a magistrate court. And in the magistrate court, no magistrate court will tell you that okay, because you're not you should forgo the money. No, it's a business. The least you will do, you're going to pay the initial amount that you borrowed. If the matter, if it gets to court, the reason why I said you should call once in a while is because when you call, if you notice that every record, they have every record of these things. They have record of your BVN, they have record of your phone number, they have all these things. Just to be on the safe side, don't ignore
There's
their
nothing
call.
safe
Even
about that.
even if you want
There's
to
nothing
ignore
Nobody,
their
safe
call, I
about
think
it.
there's
I've
nothing
had it
safe
from.
about that.
There's
These
nothing safe about
people,
it. Okay, wait,
there's nothing
Ogasha,
safe.
just continue. I will also add my own. Continue, sir.
These people are reaping people, and you are telling them to go and pay. How can you borrow 500,000 and pay back almost 1.5 million? What sort of business is
Mm,
that? If they will lose money, let them lose money. I don't care. Anybody, see, nobody should pay them back. You pay 5 million, where I say 500,000 to pay.
500,000, not 5 million, 500,000. Not 5 million, 500,000 pay almost 1 point something
Okay,
million. How?
You know what? I don't. Let us use your own case as an example. Let me use a valid case. Someone borrowed 3 million naira from Fair Money. And they asked me to pay 12.5 million naira in 2 years. Let's use that as
Who's
a case
paying that
study.
one now?
3 million
Nobody's
naira,
paying that one.
3.2 to pay 12.5 million in 2 years. So let's use that as a case study. Okay, let me start from my hand. What we stand for here is very very straightforward. Stop borrowing and stop paying. The reason why we said stop borrowing and stop paying is under CBN law on policy, there's what we call exploitative loan interest. So, and CBN recognize exploitative interest. Exploitative interest. CBN recognize it. In fact, CBN will fine them, I think about 2 million naira if they eventually find out that that's what we call exploitative, that they're not following CBN policy. That's number one. Number two, under CBN law, there is what we call, there's a guideline that CBN stated that any loan that you borrow, if you default on that loan, there's a 1% interest on that loan. 1% interest per month, not per day. So for a loan, for you to borrow from loan apps and they are adding 1% interest on your loan every day is outrightly illegal. You are not obliged. I'll share everything with everyone here, and probably by tomorrow. You are not in any role to pay any such stupid money. You can't pay it because that is exploitative. Extremely
Do you know?
exploitative. That's number two.
Do you?
Please let me
Do
just
you
list it so that
okay.
you minute on
Yeah.
it. Number three is that under CBN law, there is what we call monetary policy rates. Monetary policy rate is the benchmark that CBN will set that, every year. For this year now, the monetary policy rate for this year is 26.5. Last year it was 27.5. So there is 26.5, which means that every microfinance bank and or commercial bank, that is the benchmark that they will ride on to give loan to the public. So loan business is not do as you like. Loan business, they have to follow the guideline. If you don't follow the guideline, whatever agreement you have with them is null and void by default. Null and void by default. So for a loan app to give you loan, let's say 100,000 naira, and they ask you to pay back that loan in 7 days, 40% interest. And if you don't pay back, they keep adding 1% every day on that loan. They will start using compound interest on that loan. If you pay that money, you are a stupid person. I'm not going to say I'm sorry, you are a stupid person. If you pay that money, because under law, under the consumer protection rights, that is the meaning of consumer by CBN, consumer protection rights. That is, you have every right to say this loan is not applicable. This thing that you're doing is not applicable. Another thing, if you check the guideline, CBN policy guideline, any loan, if you see it, I'm going to share it tomorrow, negotiable. Everything on that list is negotiable. Everything. So if for a loan app, for you to call a loan app, for you to go to a loan app, they say, I want to borrow money. And you sign the contract that, oh, okay, I want to borrow money from you. And eventually realize that what they are doing is outrightly illegal. They're adding 1%, even CBN policy, the section, I think 3 or 4, I can't remember the actual section, stated that any agreement that is against the policy and the guideline of CBN is null and void by default. It's there. I'm going to show you tomorrow. It's there. So why will someone create his own agreement that is against CBN law and expect me to follow that agreement? It's never going to happen. So if anybody here wants to pay loan now, that's a business. But here,
Right.
if anybody that is violating any loan app is violating your policy and you pay back, just know that you're a stupid person. That's
I
just it.
just want to make like 2 or 3 points here before I might drop. Adekarita, do you know that this loan is unsecured loan?
Yeah.
And there is insurance covering that. You know the meaning of unsecured. Are you a lawyer? Now, that's like my first point. Now, the second point is, under those contracts being presented by these loan apps, I've never seen under their terms and conditions or the contract where they stated clearly that they can defame or threaten a customer. Now, as a lawyer, tell me what those loan apps are doing, calling their customer, threatening them. Is it lawful? You said you're a lawyer, so I just want you to answer this, please.
Okay, so let me just say this. If you go to a loan app, right, you borrow money, and due to some circumstances, you cannot pay. Anything can happen at any time to anybody, right? If
Yeah.
you go to court, the court is not going to tell you that you shouldn't pay your money. No, that's not why the court is built. And no lawyer will go and represent you, having the full mind that you don't want to pay. I respect what you're doing. I'm talking to the host
Okay,
now. I
okay.
respect
You
what you're
said
doing,
if you go
right?
to a law court,
No, let
if you go to a law court,
okay.
now under their contract, now we will use the contract to go to a law court. Was it stated on the contract that if I don't pay, you will arrest me? And no, even within the contract, there's a clause
Listen,
that says
listen,
if you default,
listen. You see,
there will
you're
be
not
a
talking. See,
penalty
you
of
know when
you
I told
paying.
you, I said the matter is not a criminal matter, right?
So why are
If
they
you're
going to
owing
court?
anybody, no, listen. If you're owing anybody, it's a civil matter. Civil matters to go to court. It's not a criminal matter, so they're not going to treat it like
Exactly.
a criminal matter is different from civil matter. Civil matter is different, criminal matter is different. The two still goes to court, but the way the two is handled is different in the courtroom. If you're a lawyer, you understand what I'm saying. If I arrest you, that means that's a criminal matter. If you were owing me money and I decide that okay, I've tried all my best to collect my money, I can sue you. It's a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter. So if you're owing money, they can still sue you in civil litigation to get their money back. Threatening is wrong. The law is not supporting you to threaten anybody. That is wrong. There's what we call slander and libel in law. So you cannot threaten anybody. You cannot, all that one they're always saying. I don't know why people, you should try to stand up and talk. Even if they threaten you on the phone and immediately you tell them that this is wrong. You cannot threaten me. And if you call any of my contacts, you can tell them. And I'm telling you, by the time you say it 1, 2, 3 times, they're going to stop. If you call any of my contacts, just know that I'm not paying you anything because you didn't do any contract. I mean, you didn't enter any agreement with those people in my contract. You took an agreement with me, so you can't just go to my contract and start embarrassing me or start. That is wrong. It's
Okay,
against
so
any form of
uh,
law, be it
I want to
civil,
ask you
be
one
it.
question. I want to ask you
Thank
one
God.
question now. Well, I want to ask you one question. Please understand that. Wait. I want to ask you one question. Now, I'm owing a particular loan app. Let's say I wish one they defend that. So sick loan or soko loan. Now they now defend me. After they defend me, give me water, all those things, and I said I'm not going to pay again. Do you think under the law, I will still have to pay? I will still pay the money. They've defamed me. They've done all manners of things. They've violated my rights and all those things. Do you think it's wise for me to still go ahead and pay that money?
Let me say this. I'm going to handle it as if you are my client right now, and you have come to me for an advice, and you have told
Okay.
me that okay, I borrowed money from. Let me go to use Fair Money for example. I borrowed money from Fair Money, and I was not able to pay at their due time. And at the end of
Let's
the
use the
day,
one
they
that
started
defamed.
threatening me.
Let's use the
Pardon?
one that defamed. I said the one that defamed, the one that have defamed me. Let's say tight cash. Tight cash do defame me.
Okay, tight catch. Okay, then you now tell
Tight
me
cash.
that okay, tight catch defamed you, and then the defamation. Now, let me create a good scenario. Maybe the defamation is not just by words, maybe by paper. Now, maybe they wrote something, your picture. Maybe they wrote RP. Some people have told me that, then they'll send it to your contact. Now, that is a serious offense on their own part. That
Okay.
is a very serious offense. Even if you take just that and take it to any police station, I assure you, they're not going to ignore you. They're not going to say you to go and pay your money. No, because that is a threat. That is a serious defamation. And it has happened to a
But you
colleague
know
of
you
mine that
lied
was a
there.
lawyer. And they did that to him.
You said
Now,
no
that is a
police
serious.
station. You said no
I
police
said they will
station.
not. If you go take that as in that screenshot and take it to a police station, I'm sure they will act upon it. They are
Okay.
going to act
So
upon
Now
it.
I
What
was
I'm
just talking based
answered
on
my
your
question.
statement.
Actually, I just wait.
No, I
You've not
said
asked-
when I mean
Okay.
no police station, I'm saying that they will not reject it. I'm not saying that they are going to be against it. They
what
have
I'm
to
saying,
treat it. That is a serious offense.
I understand.
And
You've
that is
not
a
asked-
serious offense. And as a serious offense like that, if
I
they
made
defend you,
see
they
I
can
Madam,
made it
even.
I made a case in 2022 against these people. Police did not do anything. So let me just leave all those police matters now.
Ogashi Amaka, wait. So my question is, someone, a loan company, defamed me back to back like that. Do you think it is right for me to still beg them and pay them that money after they have defamed me back to back? Do you think it is right? Please, if you can,
Can you pay?
protect. If it's not, what do you say?
To me the
Hello,
other
ma.
guy now. Are you asking me a question? Can you hear
Hello.
me?
I can't hear you. Is it from my hand? Oh, Alexander, can you hear me? Or Gashemeka,
I can hear you.
maybe
Can
a
hear you
network.
well.
Network. Well, maybe a network. Please, you can drop and then request again if we are unable
Let
to
me
hear.
let me cancel it.
Okay. I think we can hear you
We
now.
can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
And
can.
yes, it's actually breaking.
Okay.
So my question is, I borrowed money from, let's say, Tide Cash. Tide Cash, I know
Okay.
they do defame back to back. Tide Cash. And they defamed me back to back, sending messages to my contacts, calling me all sort of names and all those things. Do you think it is wise for me as a citizen that I know my right, I know what the law says? Do you think it is, and I don't know their office? Do you think it is wise for me to pay that kind of money?
To start with, if you don't know their office or they don't even have an office, they can't even sue you to court to start with then. And that's the only means of collecting their money is to defame you. Because most are loans that does that, that is the worst they can do. They're not going to take you to court. So in that aspect, of course, if anybody defamed you and defamed your image, you're not going to pay. You have to leave that. You're not going to pay. And I doubt if they're going to take you. I'm sure they won't even want to go to court because that is even a criminal offense. That and you
Okay.
can prove that look, this is defamation. They have defamed my character. They have called, and when I mean defamation in this sense now, they have said, and you can prove it in court, not just going to the court and use your mouth and be saying no. No, you have to prove because the court system is all about proof. You have to show evidence that
Of
this is
course.
it. So if you can
Of
show all that, I'm sure they too they won't even take you to court if they know that they have gone to that extent. Then they won't be that stupid to start instituting a case
Please, can I
against you.
just
They're
ask
not
the
going to.
lawyer a question?
Please go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
ma.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Yes, I'm so surprised hearing from a lawyer that when a contract is being abused, the government of that country says you should take a certain percentage over a year, and a lawyer is telling me they have to take the money if they decide to take 50% for just 1 week. You gave me 165,000 and you asked me within 7 days I should pay 250, and I'm not aware that you have been cheating me over the years borrowing from you. Then I couldn't, have some restraint, and I'm lucky to come to this place. And they told me that they don't have the right to sue me because they are not following CBN policy. So a loan app that is not following CBN policy, and my lawyer, there's some people that say it's on a TikTok, and I tell them that you are lawyers and agent for the loan app that is overcharging your own citizen, and the lawyer is telling me they have the right to take the money. So they've been taking from me 55% for 7 days. I told them the latest thing that is in town now that they are doing to me is they now send me a text because immediately they call me, I tell them everything that you are violating CBN policy. CBN says you should take 20 something percent over a year, and you have been taking 55% from me for a week, 7 days. You know what you're going to do now? You're going to calculate all the money, all the interest that I've paid, excess, and pay me back my money. If you don't pay me back my money, just funny enough, I don't know your office, I'll take you to court. So the next thing they did to me is they send me a text message telling me I should pay the 165. I said, no, you are owing me. Unless you pay me, then you know what's going to happen? For even doing that alone. So I'm even surprised on this platform, a lawyer is telling us that they have to take their money. Which money? When they are violating CBN policy and they've been defrauding me. I call them fraudsters. You should have done, please. I'm so sorry on this platform. Immediately I came to this platform, I went to check on the internet. Even Sheikh Tinubu was saying it. Everybody, but bankers were saying it. That they don't have the right, they cannot sue you. And if you pay back that money, you are mumu. When people are, a loan app is charging me 55% for 7 days, and the lawyer is telling me they have to take their money. All right, then, let's go on. I will now use my own sound
She
lawyer
is not a lawyer. I don't think so. She might be an
Can I say
agent
something?
because I don't. A lawyer
Can I
Yes,
say
cannot.
agent.
something?
That's what I call them. That's what I call them.
So let me
I
ask
know
you
my
something.
rights. Please, on
Let
this
me ask you
platform, if
something.
anybody is telling you
Now,
otherwise, it's
now,
wrong.
where did you get it from?
The first stage is they have violated the contract. They violated the contract. And then the
Exactly.
lawyer is
Let me
telling
ask
you,
this.
their agent, they will tell them to come to this platform and start saying all that. Which lawyer? When you violated, a lawyer is supporting somebody that violated. Is that contract not void? I beg, please.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? The law. Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe you didn't get it out very well.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, Gashem, please go ahead.
Uh,
The law is telling me
let me
contract
ask
that
you
is void.
something. Let me ask you
What
something.
about my own interest?
Let's
This lawyer on this platform is not
let's
talking
Wait,
leave.
about my
sorry.
own
Are you
interest.
sorry, madam? Are you Me, did I mention that you should pay? Were you listening to what I was saying, or are you talking
I've
about
been
the lawyer
listening to
in
you that
the other?
eventually, I've been listening that then they have to take that money. If they take you to court, you have to pay. Me as a lawyer, I've been listening,
No,
I've been
no,
listening to
maybe you
it.
didn't hear me well. He asked a question. He
No,
said
because
if they
but then
defame you.
you should have been, you should encourage us that
He said if
anybody that
he
violated the
said if they
contract is
defame you,
void.
if they defame you, and I said, listen,
Just
I
It's
wait.
not
said
defamation. We are not
because
talking about defamation
Let's
now, madam. We are not talking about defamation. We are
maybe
talking about the content of the contract.
no,
It's void. There is no
listen.
contract. There is
You
no
see, let me
contract,
tell
lawyer.
you. It's easy to argue
You
here.
know,
I've been to court, right?
I've been
I've
to
been to
court as
different
well.
courts.
I've been to
But
court as
you,
well, and they seize my
are you
phone.
practicing as a
The
lawyer? I'm
magistrate seized
telling you
my
because
phone. They
either
return
way,
it back.
listen,
When
listen.
somebody violated the
If you,
law.
it's, in the beginning, I told you, I said most of the time these people don't go to court.
Oh.
If you have listened to me, I said most of the time they hardly take these things to court
Because
because at the end of the
because
day,
they know the
no,
case is
please
void.
listen.
There's no
No,
contract.
listen. I've listened to you. Listen,
Ade,
they hardly take these
let's
that
matters
ask
to
one
wasn't
court
your
more.
comment when you were
because at
addressing
the end of the
Adorable.
day, they know that it's not going to
Wasn't your
favor them.
comment when you were addressing
Oga
Adorable.
Chiameka, wait. Oga Chiameka,
Favor
wait.
them
Let's take
because
it.
there's no contract. They are doing otherwise. They defrauded us. They are doing otherwise. So why
Madam,
are some people on the
Bisola, please
internet
wait.
supporting them? Did they employ? Is that
Madam
how much did they
Bisola,
pay you?
please wait. Please wait.
So
Let's take it one
are you
after
asking
the.
me? Sorry, are you asking me how much they
Please.
paid me?
No. Please, maybe you didn't get it. Please wait.
Sir,
What I'm
no,
saying is
I
this.
like you maybe one day when you're free, you can come to my chambers. So I think I'm doing well for myself. You can give you my
Why
address.
would
You
I
can come
come
to my
there?
chambers.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
come there.
talking
Have
to you.
fun. I
I'm
wouldn't come
talking
to your
to
chambers because the way you're doing
I'm talking
it's
to
as if they have been
lower
you have
court.
been
Please
paid.
wait. Please, I'm going to drop. Just wait. Let's iron this thing out. Please, I think there are a lot of misconception here. What the law, what he was saying, as Alexander, please wait. What she was saying is that she was only referring to fair money, which they are CCBN
No,
licensed. So she
okay.
was only in
No,
together.
continue. I'm listening.
Please don't let us miss it. At least we are
No,
learning on daily
let me
basis. We are
just say
learning.
something. Let me say something. I'm talking to the host now.
Let me clarify
I
it.
joined
Please
this.
wait. Wait,
Okay.
Madam Adekata, please wait. Let's clarify it so that everybody will be on the same page. We really want people to
Okay.
learn. Thank God we have professionals among us now. I mean, balance the whole thing that we have been discussing here. Please let everybody here. Let's get this thing straight. Our dealer here, she is not in support of any loan apps. Please don't let us she's not in support of their outrageous interest and every other thing.
I don't know why
Please,
somebody will come on. Let me say something. I don't know. You
please
know, you said
wait.
something when I joined.
Hello, hello.
Okay, continue. I'm
Let me
listening.
clear the hair so that by the time you talk about it, you know there are a lot of victims here. In fact, all of us are victims, and you should expect reactions. Do you get that now? All of us are victims. You should expect reactions. People don't look at Madam Adorable. She don't pay. She don't sell her things. So the reaction would be somehow. I lost about 11 million naira to loan apps, and I know Mr. Shemeka lost more than 20 something million, and you know that definitely they'll be furious. But let's calm down and explain this thing. So she wasn't talking about all loan apps. She said it outrightly that how can loan app defame you and you still pay back? She said it by herself that if you defame me, then I'm not going to pay you. She said it. Even the last time she joined our meeting, she said that if you defame me or send message to all my contact, I'm not going to pay you. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So what you borrow money from Carbon, we know that Carbon or Branch, they don't defame. They don't do anything. They will call you. They will do all those things. If you go to court, if they eventually ask you to go to court, I mean, let's say they eventually say, okay, let's go to court. Definitely, court will rule out that, okay, this amount you have to pay it. That one is sure. You have to pay that money. So that's as she was talking about that aspect that if you go to court, if they sue you to court, like Carbon, Branch, or even a commercial bank, you will pay the money, but you will pay it voluntarily in terms of, okay, maybe 6 months or 1 year, sometimes 2 years, sometimes 5 years. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But many of us here assume she was talking about all loan apps that you have to pay because you are home, maybe because of choice of words or something of that nature. So that's not what we're trying to. That's why I had to ask that direct question that loan app that have defamed me and all that we're not going to pay that money. I'm not going to pay that money again. So that's exactly what we are trying to say. We're trying to differentiate between the bad guys, the loan apps that are defaming us back to back, any loan apps that are defaming. She said it that it's a serious offense if anybody defamed you or call defamed you or do all manners of things. That one is a serious offense. Now, the one that we need to iron out, which is critical, is the one that maybe loan apps that are hiding their CBN license. PalmPay, they are CBN licensed. Easy Buy, they are CBN licensed. Which other one? Kobogo. No, let's use those two. PalmPay, Easy Buy, they are CBN licensed. But if you hold PalmPay and you are unable to pay, you don't, because your 100,000 naira will balloon to 500 or 700,000 naira, and which will make it almost impossible for anybody to pay that kind of money. And they will keep threatening you, even though they are CBN licensed. So let us check it out. Do you think it is right for us to still pay that money as far as this loan issue is concerned? We have clarified it now that there are some loan apps like Carbon, like Branch, like Umba, that they can never defame you. They can never. I don't know if they've started though. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They can never defame you. They will only send reminder and reminder and reminder and reminder. But let's assume they eventually say, okay, let's go to court. Definitely, they will pay the money. You just they will have a structured repayment plan for you, and you pay off. But the one that are violating my rights, they are adding daily interest on my loan, which is against CBN policy. They are working against the CBN policy, even though they are CBN licensed. How best can we handle that kind of loan apps? Madam Aderita, please, do you understand the question now? So, I'm sorry for everything. So,
No, I don't realize that most people on your hub, they just want to hear one way direction. I've got to pick that up right now. I'm not angry about anything. I mean, everybody has their feelings. Everybody has borrowed money one point or the other. So, but what I'll say is that if you're owing money, those loan apps hardly will they take you to court because it's not going to be in their favor. And I've said that. They will not go to court. Nobody wants to pay a lawyer. You draft paper, you file paper. All that thing is quite expensive. Most of them don't want to go through that route. And at the end of the day, when you present, when the matter is taken to court, the magistrate is not going to hear it the first hearing. The first hearing may be for hearing. The second may be for mention. The third may be for cross-examination. And it can go on and on like that. So they don't have that time. And when it's going on, you can't pay anything. You'll be waiting for the judgments of what the magistrate is going to say. So you're not going to pay anything at that moment. But no court. If they defame you, don't get me wrong. If they defame you and you can prove that this loan app have defamed me, they're going to. I don't see the court that at the end of the day will now say, oh, they said this and that, this and that and that and that. Okay, I'll still go and pay that money. No, you're not going to pay. And that is why I don't know. But I think like a colleague of mine was telling me, because I spoke to some colleagues that also borrowed money, that now most loan apps, she said she borrowed 1 million from OK Cash. Yes. She said she borrowed 1 million from OK Cash. She said, and somehow she has, this has passed her due date. She has not yet paid. But she keeps on calling them once in a while and stuff like that. She noticed that they don't call her contact. And most loan apps, like those ones that are licensed by CBN, they know this now. So they don't want to call your contact or defame you. And that is why at the end of the day, they will just be telling you that, okay, just pay something. Okay, how do you want to pay? Because they know if the matter gets to court, it's not going to benefit them. The magistrate can say, okay, we'll draw it. It's Mrs. So, how much do you want to pay? How much? They'll even start by asking, how much do you have? Then if you tell the court, okay, how much did you borrow? You say you borrow 500. Okay, pay back your 500. It's not going to be in their own interest. Then if you now tell the court that, okay, so I don't have 500, they're going to ask you, okay, how much do you have? Okay, you have 100, pay 100. When are you going to pay the remaining? Okay, go and draft your terms of settlement. Bring the terms of settlement. Immediately the court stamps the terms of settlement. It becomes binding between both parties. And then you're not going to come back to court again. You're going to take the terms of settlement. You're going to leave the court. Then you can even default that payment again. So you can see it's not going to benefit them in any way. So they don't even want to go to court. That is why most of the time, at the end of the day, they come back to meet you and be asking you, okay, how much do you want to pay? After a lot of trouble. But if any loan have threatened you and have defamed you, that's why I said most of this, like defamation, voice messages, try to keep it on record just in case they decide that the money is a lot because nobody wants to lose money. It's a business they are doing just in case the money is a lot, and they now intend that okay, we want to go to court. You have all those proof. If you can prove it in court, well, if you can prove, they don't even want to. I doubt whether they'll take that matter to court, and they know that they have defamed you. They won't take it to court. I doubt it that they have defamed you in such a manner. They will not take that matter to court. Even any lawyer they take it to represent them, the lawyer will tell them that they are going to lose. The lawyer is going to tell them that they are not only going to lose, but they will pay. Because if you have tarnished somebody's image to a fault that people have started believing that defamation that you have posted against that person, you have to. I mean, you have to do something to make sure that if you have to compensate the person, they are going to pay for compensation. So they won't even want to go to court. They won't want to go to court. And any loan, like she spoke about something that she borrowed a loan and they said that she'll pay back in 7 days' time. And then that 7 days' time is triple the amount. Now that is outrageous. That is I don't even know what to call that. That is very, very
That's extortion.
that is really I don't even understand how that works.
That's armed robbery. That was not even extortion. It's armed robbery.
I'm sure. I don't know whether those type of have a license. I doubt. You shouldn't even be going to.
Now, what you just mentioned now, that is what 18 million Nigerians are going through. I am going to tender you that, these people are violating the agreement, the terms and conditions, where it was stated by CBN, and they are violating my right as CBN policy. Please correct me if I'm wrong, our dealer. If I did not know something before, that this is what the law says, and eventually I now realize that these people are using the law, they are permutating the law in their own favor to dupe me, do you think that kind of agreement is still valid, even though I now realize that these people are now using this agreement to dupe me? Do you think that agreement is still valid? Please, maybe you should help us to clarify that, or maybe you will allow me to talk so that you can.
Well, sorry. What was the question? Sorry.
So, if, for instance, I sign an agreement with a legal company that they should follow CBN policy or any policy regarding finance, and I now discover later that these people are violating my rights, they didn't follow the guideline as stated by CBN, do you think I must uphold or agree after I've signed, though? Do you think I must agree to that time because I have signed the contract, even though I now realize that this contract is violating the actual original plan of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Do you think that agreement is still valid?
You're not saying that if you borrow money for a loan app, at the end of the day, you now notice that the loan apps they are not following the rules of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under CBN. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's correct.
That agreement you now signed, is it valid? That's your question, right?
That's correct.
Okay, but as long as you're not going to court.
Yes.
So we're leaving court out of it, right? Just between you and the company now.
So no, let's get the two scenarios. If you go to court, what happens?
You see, one thing about court is not, this is how court works. Court works with evidence, right? So the court is not going to say, oh, it's only if they defame you, then it becomes a criminal matter. But court works with evidence. So if these people sue you to court, because you're not the one that is going to go and sue them to court, because you find out that their laws does not abide with the CBN rules. If you're going to do that, that means you're going to have a lot of money to be carrying. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that means you want to wait for them to sue you to court. And if you sue you to court, the least the court will do, and I'm being honest here, if they didn't defame you, you will just pay the initial amount that you borrow. No court will say, oh, okay, you borrowed money, you don't want to pay. Okay, go home, don't pay. No court is going to tell you that. The court is uphold justice. That is what court does. When you see the statute in court, you see that justiciar statute. That is uphold justice. So you're going to return back the money you have borrowed. You cannot just tell the court that they should give you time. It can give you all the time you need, but you pay the amount that you have borrowed. That is what the court does. But as I said, these people is not going to take you to court.
Let me chip in this. One of my friends paid fair money. Let me use fair money as a case study. My friend, he collected 1 million naira from fair money, and he was paying religiously, just paying 1,000. He didn't even check the amount. If you get 5,000 today, we just transfer any money where they come to his account. We transfer about 50%, 100,000, 20,000, then 50,000. So after like 6 months, you now check the account, you now check the platform. You now realize that After he has paid 1.9 million, and yet they're still telling him that he will still pay
Mm.
1.6 million. And the actual agreement is was 1.6. He's supposed to pay 1.6 million back after 6 months, but because of overdue interest, he didn't pay the money on time. So because of overdue interest, that thing was just that thing skyrocketed to 3 point something million. So in that case, are you saying I'm still going to pay that kind of money? Even court will still strike it that
No,
I
no,
must pay.
no. Immediately, what I'll do if you come to me as a lawyer, or if I just want to give me my legal advice, immediately that you know that you have, as in your money has entered overdue, you take a screenshot of it. You take a screenshot that's ahead that my money has overdue. So anything else that adds, you just minus that. You see that screenshot that you took, that is your own evidence. That is the one you have in your mindset that I'm going to pay. Anything else is irrelevant to you if you're going to do that. But if you get to court, the court is not going
I'm
to tell
referring to
you.
court now. I'm referring to court now.
Yes, the court is not going to tell you to pay the overdue interest. That is why they took you to court. They are the one taking you to court. You're not the one taking them to court now.
Yes, yes.
So
Of course, I'm
immediately,
not referring to court.
so immediately they take you to court. See, that's why I said they won't go to court because they know if they immediately they enter a courtroom, that overdue interest, they are not going to. That's their own commission. That's what they are eating. Is that interest? And they know if they get to court is not going to support them and say, okay, no, you have pay your money, then pay the overdue interest. The court is going to minus it. Then the only thing the court will tell you to do is to pay the money you borrowed. That is what. But paying the money you borrowed now, the court is going to be very lenient with you. Because I've seen a lot of situation whereby the person will just get to court and he or she will be crying. You see them crying in front of the magistrate. And the magistrate will just say, okay, take the time. Don't have to sell your properties. How are we going to handle this? Okay, let's draw a terms of settlement. Both of you go and agree because the judge is not going to be there. That both of you go and settle between both yourself. When you come to an agreement, bring back that terms of settlement. The court will now stamp it. It becomes an agreement between both of you. But they do. I'm sure they won't want that because they are not going to benefit that. So the only thing they have to do. So that is why you have to screenshot it. You will screenshot it. You will record it that this is the amount you're going to pay. So all those things, the callings and everything, just screenshot it. At the end of the day, when you have the exact amount, because it's a lot. Nobody look. Let's be realistic here. If you're running a business and you come to me to borrow money, for example, maybe you borrow 50,000, and I tell you that okay, at the end of the month you're going to pay me 100,000 back, and you failed in paying that 100,000. I started adding 2,000, 1,000 every day, every day, every day. At
You
the end
cannot
of
even
the
do that, sir. You cannot do that, man.
that is even wrong. I'm
Under
just
the
giving an
federal
example.
Nigerian
That
policy,
is wrong.
yeah, under the
That is
federal
wrong,
policy, you cannot add
and that
interest
and
on the money.
that
That
is
is the
even wrong. That
problem.
is what I'm saying. That is you see that interest they are adding per day. That is wrong. They shouldn't even be doing that.
So that's exactly what we are saying. We are saying here that
That is it. That interest now, if you get to court, you're not going to pay that interest. It's the initial money, the 50,000 you collected for me. That is what the court is telling you to pay. You're not going to pay. That interest is gone. That
so
interest is gone.
that's exactly what we are saying. Now, if you check what we have been saying now here, it's very simple and straightforward. These guys, any money you pay, for instance, if you are owing any loan apps here, and you now pay, you have this mind that let me be paying them small till I finish paying them. The more you pay, the more they keep adding that overdue interest. So they will swallow up everything you have paid. So does it make sense to stick to pay that kind of money? Now, to worsen the case, because this